we kind of. Oh Jesus! Oh,
Hey, buddy.
It's been a while.
Hey, bud.
I missed your sensuous voice.
Oh,
Welcome back.
sensuous.
For the recorded record, I've had 2 nat 20s tonight and a nat 1, but we're going to focus on the
This
2
is
nat 20s.
there were 2 nat 20s.
Confirmation
This-
bias.
It's been a good rolling day for Ted so far.
This is an important posterity record for when it goes really badly here in about 20 minutes.
It is not
but we
Ted's
know-
curse dice. It's karma in the world
To be
making
fair,
things
I've had 2
balanced.
nat 1s. One of them was just on Pecoreva.
Yeah,
That's true.
you've already regressed to the mean. You're good.
There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we have learned everything there is to know about Rust Monster.
Yeah, we had a real fun National Geographic
head.
episode. Slurp the head.
Ooh,
Freezing. Ooh.
not a fan of that wording.
Yeah, for the things that we have done so far is we've wandered into the labyrinth beyond the Baxium Tower and have encountered a small cluster of rust monsters, which Torek knows all the fuck about, as it turns out, and have killed them. Have discovered the corpse of an orc that they had been sort of rending apart, which appears to have been the remains of a fashion of a spellcaster who had been allied with the Baxium Tower. And that's pretty much everything that's happened. Anyway, that means it's time to
Also had
continue
a-
questing. Oh,
We also had a large discussion on maps.
yes, maps. There is a map being constructed,
But
sort
more
of.
Importantly, we need to find someone and take the map off of them. Because nobody sells maps of the labyrinth, which is a real missed financing opportunity.
It's a great financial opportunity, but it's also very good for the literal gangs that run this place to not let anyone else be able to get through here easily. But as it is, you are wandering mapless through the labyrinth into, as Sanzi indicated, hopefully to find lost settlements or locales that had existed in the construction of this place, trying to find magical items. So, where to next?
Up and away.
Okay. Can continue on your path for perhaps about. It's hard to determine time down here. I don't think anyone picked up the keen mind feature. But time
like-
seems to stretch.
I feel like if anybody had it, it'd be Torek. I feel like
Actually, I
Torek
feel like
mentioned something.
Ulvius has it.
That's not
Oh, right. No. Ulvius just made the tea time joke. That's right. He was like,
Yes.
I know the time.
Oh, right.
It's tea time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a stretch of time, Amorphous and Andel, that takes you to yet another fork in the road where you have the option of directions. I believe Torek got a little peek ahead, which I was not going to deter because it is in fact going to matter. So as you approach, Torek, what was it that you saw? Do you remember? Or did you see them at all?
I don't think I did. I don't think I
Oh,
did.
that's great.
Oh, now I do. Oh. Oh, hi there.
I see nothing.
What do you see?
Or wildlife, I think.
Fauna or flora? Or both?
Yes.
I don't like that answer. Frankly.
I mean,
Torek, you are
they're
certainly
both-
seeing, ambulating plant life as far as you can see. A significant cluster of fungi that is entirely mobile and bipedal, some of them. Some of them quadrupedal.
Oh,
my
that's
goodness.
a lot of guys.
What's so funny, buddy?
What did he say?
You fucking kidding me?
Oh my.
God.
He's just been running around the house laughing for like 5 minutes, and then suddenly,
Uh-huh.
Up to the left of you on the path ahead, you see that most of you are getting the glimpse of what appears to be a very docile, either settlement or encampment of very large, like I said, bipedal and quadrupedal fungi that are humming quietly, audibly even from where you are. And then the path to your right is yet full of unknowns.
Okay, so maybe we just walk right by that, huh? Or do we stop and talk to it?
Sanxi, have you ever run into one of these? Or
She shakes her head.
they look friendly enough.
Yeah, but what language do you think they'd speak? They speak a language?
I could always try Abyssal.
Yeah, I could try. I got Underdark.
You mean Undercommon?
Yeah. Do we want to talk to them?
Think they could tell us where stuff is?
Potentially, so
Seems like a better use of our time than just
Wandering
wandering
aimless.
randomly.
okay. I'll go for it then.
Yeah, I'll go with her.
Yeah, I'll stay back here.
And I'll try Undercommon. I'll not quite yell, but just be like, hello? Hi.
Some of the quadrupedal, smaller but still easily at least 4, maybe 5 feet tall creatures are somewhat scampering near the threshold of this little alcove and chamber. Stop and like take a couple steps backwards towards you. They have no discernible face, features, mouth of any kind, but they are gesticulating in a way that demonstrates some fear.
Yeah, I will put my hand up and like very visibly drop my sword on the ground.
Okay. Why don't you make me a persuasion check at advantage?
Hayes is pretty good at these sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. All right. As you do so, as you drop the sword and the ring of the steel against the stone shakes in the air and in the fair silence, one of these larger conglomerates of being, awkward in its shape, asymmetrical, filled with plumage and fanning growth, rises with creaks that sound like wood groaning under weight and looks down at you from as far away as it is. It also carries no features, but its body is like turning so that it can face you. It extends a hand, as you can see it, that only appears to have 3 digits, each one a different frond of its own growth that curl outward, jointless towards you, and sort of beckon you forward.
Okay, Mel, you stay here. If this goes bad, get me out.
Okay. I don't really have a way to. Okay.
Yeah, I walk forward.
These quadrupeds back a ways to clear a path that you may approach and get closer. And once you are under the looming presence of this greater being, there is sound of gas being released, mist, yellow, and particles very large, but the space between them broad, begins drifting around you and floating, begins landing on your skin and rising up towards your face.
I'll try an insight check. I know it's hard because they don't have facial expressions.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be trying to kill me, but
I will let you make an insight check.
disadvantage is fine. I'm not gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, I think this will be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like the threat of numbers and size around you, and there is something that is like rising up towards your mouth and face and eyes.
Okay, I just close my eyes. I will make and no, I'll just like keeping my arms held up, close my eyes.
But I'm assuming you don't like hold your breath. You just close your eyes and wait.
Yeah, I think breathing it for some reason she just doesn't want it in her eyes.
um, as as maybe even it's possible like her wits aren't such that she's inclined to think about not breathing it in.
Mm-hmm.
So when like the first speck of dust like reaches into her
Yeah,
nose
it's too
and
late.
yeah,
By the time
there's
you think about it, you've already breathed it in. It's too late.
there's an instinctive like sneeze in response, and then a voice pipes in your mind that just says "Gesundheit."
Oh. I try in my head. I'm actually kind of well suited for this. Hello?
Greetings, traveler. And the upper portion of this most large being bows in a courteous gesture.
I will bow back, turn around, and throw a thumbs up at the group. Like in the middle of the bow. Like corkscrew torso, like nod, thumbs up.
Yeah.
If you don't want to breathe anything in, just stay back there for a second. I don't know if we're in the clear yet, but it's going good.
Okay.
In my head, then I will think at this, which again, well suited to this. I will think, we are travelers passing through your domain, looking for magical treasures, essentially.
There's another slight tilt of the upper torso as the message as a message returns to you that says, "Many pass through these walls and quarters looking for relics abandoned here by flesh walkers of the past. You may yet find on this path chamber of eyes," and an image appears in your mind, a very large, filling your vision, closed, leathery skinned eyelid that flashes open to a slitted pupil, glows, and then that image vanishes. May also find beyond this path foreigners unlike you and your kind. You are made of meat. There are many who have traveled here in the only recent past, who are unlike you and unlike us.
In my head, I will say, may I? We're looking for a specific kind of magical item in this particular case, and maybe then a place to get to other places. I have an example of the kind of thing magic item we are looking for. I can go get and present to you if it feels familiar.
There's a bit of an acknowledgement and a broad-handed gesture that allows you to return and go about as you've stated.
Yeah, I walk
Are
back
you-
to the group.
Are you talking to it?
Yeah, talking to it in my head. I don't know how that's happening. I breathed in some stuff. I don't think it's a good thing. But they are receptive to conversation with me for the moment. They've spoken about somewhere up ahead is a chamber of eyes, they called it, where something very large with a slitted eye is sleeping. And also, there is another chamber elsewhere that is filled with, they described them as foreigners that are not like us or like them, specifically not made of meat, I guess, or of whatever it is they're made of.
It could perhaps be the automatons that the Hand of Light were tracking.
That was my thinking. Yes. Also, I can, if Inks may I have the, if I could show them the item and see if they've seen anything or if this is at all familiar.
I'm sorry, there's a group of things with no flesh and they're not plants like them.
Right.
And there's a thing that's sleeping with one.
Well, it was called the Chamber of Eyes, plural, but I only saw the one eye, so
The thing ahead, it's sleep. You said it was sleeping, right?
its eye was closed, so I think it was sleeping, but
Oh, okay.
it may just be that I don't know. It was a vision, maybe, so it's what one of them saw. Inks, do you want me to? I could see if if the anything is familiar to the cloak. Guess he did go AFK.
Oh yeah, oops. I think you'd be okay to do this for the sake of
Okay.
progression. Yeah.
Yeah, I will like wrap it a couple times around my fist and like walk back in.
All right. You take the sheepskin cloak back towards this little encampment.
Yeah.
As you do so, the quadrupeds nearby start kind of like bouncing like lambs, kind of excitedly, and you hold it out.
Yeah, I hold it up, not necessarily out. But as I hold it up, I say, this artifact, this relic, we're looking for other things like it. It's
The
probably Fey if you know what such things are.
the boneless tendril fingers extend as if to like put a hand on it, but then wait for the permission.
May I have it back once you touch it?
The figure bows in a nod.
Okay. And yeah, I'll like relinquish my hold on it a little bit, just like loosen up the hand that's holding it.
The cape is held aloft over you, and as it does, you see what looks like flecks of moisture flicking off of it and landing on the stone in front of you. And there's slight investigation, a little bit of a turn towards the other accompanyingly massively sized growth form behind. A slight conference, it would appear, and then the cloak is restored to you, and an image flits in your mind of two very small hands made of wood, broken off at the wrists, splintered and damaged, but the hands are intertwined, clasping each other fiercely. That image fades quickly. And the voice within your mind murmurs the let me think. Hold on, gotta look up a name or something. I wrote it down. The hold of the tyrants held one such item. It may no longer be there, but before their incursion, once there was such an item.
What manner of thing were the tyrants?
You feel in your mind a piercing shriek that does not bring you to your knees, but you are faced with like the pain, like the memory of that kind of pain, that causes like all of these littler creatures to shudder as this image is like put into your mind. You also see dark tentacles reaching out, and it feels like it's coming for your face. Um, uh, uh, but that image is once again very quickly dispelled, though the physical fear manifested in these smaller mushroom folk does not subside.
Where is the place this item was? Or might still be?
You Hmm. You are given a very odd and dysfunctional visual map of like a path that takes you like from where you are and leftwards. But with those feelings comes like a strong sense of warning and caution.
So to the left, basically.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry.
I guess I'll ask them also. So which way is it to the Chamber of Eyes?
You get very similar impressions, but the directions just take you to the right.
Okay. And are the foreigners not like us? Are they made of like, I'll bang on the metal of my chest plate?
There's a feeling of acknowledgement and correctness.
And where are they?
They have come from the hold of the tyrants.
Okay, got it. So one path leads to the Chamber of Eyes, the other leads to the Hold of the Tyrants, essentially.
You're given another affirmative.
Is there what manner of thing is in the Chamber of Eyes? Your vision showed me an eye, and it's a sufficient warning, but anything else you could tell me would potentially keep us alive.
You see serpentine figures, masses of scaly, snake-like appendages and movements. You see them in different colors as well, like very large and dark in tone, and then also like more lithe. And every once in a while, the flash of these slitted pupils, as well as the like sorrowful memories of petrified Myconilian figures, such as the ones you're seeing before, but all turned to stone.
Understood. I suppose then it is. Our path is probably going to take us to one or both of these places, and when we do, I suppose the only payment we could give you is that you're free to, I guess, return there, live there,
Uh,
expand your territory.
the little ones dance around emphatically once again. Their fear diminished
Yeah,
significantly.
they're just rapidly oscillating with whatever
Yeah.
the vibe is.
Yes. That would bring us peace.
I don't think there's anything else that I have that I could pay you back with. I have a nice rope is essentially.
They do not seem interested in that. You'd give them your silk rope?
What? They're good boys, okay? They're all doing great. They're out here vibing. Maybe the little ones will I don't know, play tug of war or some shit. They'll have a great time. Okay. I will, yeah, after a moment, say, may I leave for a moment, go confer with my companions in case they have any other questions?
You were given that passage.
Yeah, I come much faster and more clipped this time walking over. Come over and immediately like kind of kneel down and like a conspiratorial, like, that was a lot. Okay. Chamber of Eyes is things that turn things to stone.
Always good.
Yeah, great. One of my favorite things.
I get a lot because we.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pork has to do the hands on knees, like, oh boy.
Yeah. Not looking forward to that. But an option. The other way is, okay. So things with tentacles in their grabby tentacles in the hold of the tyrants. The tyrants are the things with the tentacles. They came in. That's if the relic we're looking for, which I'll describe like briefly. If that's if it's anywhere, it's there, in the hold of the tyrants.
And
Which,
that's where the turn to stone thing is.
well, no, that's actually
No.
where
Okay.
the foreigners, unlike our kind, the which I clarified are indeed made of metal. They're either on the way or near, or it's hard to judge distance with the mental images they give. I just know that's to the left and the Chamber of Eyes is to the right.
Well, I feel like since it's in the direction of something that we're looking for and also serves a sort of mutual interest in investigating the potential of an autonomous army, I feel like the choice is pretty simple.
Is there any other questions you want me to try to ask them about anything?
Uh,
Again, they sort of deal in vibes more than in concrete information. So
are you
like
okay? You've been standing in the
y-
spores for a while
yeah,
now.
weirdly, I'm kind of used to talking to a thing in my head,
That's
and
not the
it's sort of
question I
talking back.
asked.
I'm a little lightheaded. It's just we can address that in a second. Any other
Hmm.
questions?
All right,
I
if you
guess
die,
I'm
you die.
pretty curious about like their whole deal, really.
But
Like what do they eat? What do they do for fun? Like, do they compete? What kind of competitions do they hold?
We have a potentially evil, marauding army on the way to a magical artifact that we want. I feel like sitting down for a storied history of these folks would be unwise.
my worry is that they're going to give me the answer to the question that I asked, and it's not going to make any sense to me because their whole thing is different.
All the more reason to quest for after the knowledge. But I understand we should move on.
If it
Patrick
helps,
pulls out a notebook and makes some notes.
if it helps anyone, where the payment I offered is for them to expand their territory if we, just sort of do our usual and blaze our way in a trail of destruction through everything from here to what we want.
Okay, that's awfully dramatic.
I mean, it is an over dramatized version of what's actually going to happen, which is probably just a series of
Us
conflicts.
walking, us finding angry wildlife, us killing angry wildlife, and then getting to wherever we're going.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I will bid them a fond farewell. They've been incredibly receptive. I'm a little worried about my lungs, but again, problem for later.
You could just ask if there are any negative effects.
Good idea. I go walking back up.
You didn't. Ugh.
I'll walk up and bow very deeply, and say, "We are going to be going now. I suppose I don't have any way of giving word to you on our success, but hopefully we are successful so that we can pay you back."
A few of these creatures lean into you and bump into your torso and shins.
Oh, fucking the little ones are. Hazen, like every time Hazen's trying to be stern and one of them bounces or bumps into her, it just breaks. Also,
Making it so cute. I love him.
also, are there any long-term side effects of breathing you in and being able to speak with you?
I, I think I think you get the mental and romantic image of what is the ultimate fate of all mortal creatures is that
Mm.
you eventually become mulch and
Mm.
and will be consumed. Not that it's a hurried or harried process, but it's just a reality that you're suddenly kind of being told about.
Yeah. I get like a flash forward of just all the stages of development as something is decomposing in the ground. All right. D- is my name is Haza. Uh, is there a name by which I should call the you or the collective of you?
I don't think that they display any any
Yeah.
it's just like a ubiquitous form of us.
Yeah. I basically said I'm me. Who are you? They're
Yeah.
like us.
Yeah.
I will nod to them, bow again, say, it was surprisingly lovely to meet all of you. I try to send like the most pleasant, like happy vibe along the connection.
Yeah, one of these littler ones follows you like the steps or so and bumps into you again before running back.
And yeah, I will turn, uh, walking very confidently back until I get to about here, out of eye shot of them. And then like all the tension like bleeds out as I like kneel down up against the wall. Okay. They're actually really lovely. Mel, you would love them probably.
Oh,
They told me all about the inevitability of becoming mulch.
uh-huh. Yeah.
They didn't tell me as much as they showed me, so that's fine. And they're good. Their name is Us. Maybe punch that up. But what do you guys want to do?
So wait, we have potentially a line on where an artifact might be, and that is with the automatons.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
In
potentially.
the hold of
it's with the
the
tyrants, which
tyrants.
are some kind of they got grasping tentacles, which it feels like it should narrow it down more, but I don't know if
Yeah,
it
that
does.
doesn't sound good either way.
But they're either in the same place or past the foreigners, the the ones
Oh,
made of
okay, so they're
metal.
on the same map.
But yeah, they're on the same path. To what degree? Again, they tried to give me their best approximation, and the way they interpret space and navigation is all over the place. So really, I got left and right.
Yeah. And the other way is the one that potentially turns us to stone.
Right, a chamber of eyes, and I saw when I asked for further clarification, there is quite a few varieties and colors of big snake things,
Yep.
and lots of petrified people.
Okay, well, I feel like
Well,
that makes our decision pretty easy.
yeah, I
Yes,
Go that
mean,
it
way.
sure does.
We go that way. I am pointing back the way we came.
we leave.
I
I
mean,
mean, there's got to be a whole lot more labyrinth, right?
But the thing we're here
then-
looking for the the Fey artifact for.
inks and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like it is an easy choice in the direction of the thing we're looking for, right?
I mean, yeah.
Because the other side, yeah, probably has some artifacts too. Not the one we're looking for, and I'm sure there's more than just the something like the robe in there. But the other way is just unknowns. The only known is that we are very likely to get petrified again
Right.
for some of us. So,
And I didn't ask specifically about the portal to get to other places. It was a little focused because that feels like a next problem thing.
yeah,
Well,
that's okay. I
know
mean,
where that is too, right?
yeah,
That's with the other.
we did agree to sort of be a guard on one of the trips there if we needed
Yeah.
passage. So we don't really need to know the location currently. Let's make it out alive of here first.
I suppose then but the initial decision, I guess, is up to you two. I look at Inks and her sister.
I'm here so she doesn't die.
And I'm looking for artifacts.
Right. I guess rephrasing the question, what are you willing to pay for the, not in terms of money, but in terms of,
How
you
would you
know,
like to die?
danger, potentials for dying?
I'd prefer not the petrification. I can't fix that.
I'd prefer, yeah, I think that way is out, in my opinion. It's just a question of do we, you know, stumble more randomly in other directions or go for where the artifact again might not currently be anymore. It may have been moved. That was just the last place. Anything that was Fey like this, and I'll actually hand it back to Inks at this point. The last place anything like that was that these things know of. Doesn't necessarily mean this is the thing. This is just their best guess.
Well, the army of robots might be searching for something. And if they went that way, then there's a good chance that there might be something that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically two useful things versus none. I feel like
Yeah.
this isn't a choice since,
Yeah,
we're not gonna do the smart thing. We might as well do the efficient dumb thing.
agreed.
I'm personally in agreement. Just wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page as far as the stakes go.
Glad we all agree that we're doing the dumb thing.
It will probably terminate in us in fighting something called tyrants that have tentacles, which neither of those things seem good. Separately and together seem very bad.
So they just gave you they didn't give you an appearance or anything.
They gave me like a, again, like from recollection, Max, it was essentially just like grasping tentacles, right?
Uh, yeah, like their memory of these things, which is the most like visceral, like fear drawn, like snapshots.
Yeah, was there memories of like them getting killed or like
You saw
yeah,
like the ones that were petrified. You saw like you had like the sounds that were heard, kind of thing. But that's what you got.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll shrug and say it was a lot of jumbled terror, impressions and sort of
Okay. Well, we'll see what we see when we get there.
maybe the foreigners will be friendly and we can ask them questions about things.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll.
Yeah, keep the hope alive, Hazel.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, that is very true.
All right, everybody, if it would be great if when we all went by them, you just bowed respectfully, maybe wave at the little ones, they love that. Um
Let's
so
do this.
the path to the right, Max, is if not on this map, like where exactly would it be?
So you'll like. Oh, where's the wrong? Yes. So like you'll head down this way.
Yeah, and then when there's a
And-
fork, we'll go right.
Yeah,
Is that the? I'm not mixing up the directions, right?
I think you are just now. If
Oh,
if
did
you
I
if
just
you are
mix it
trying,
up? Yeah.
if you're trying to avoid the Chamber of Eyes, you will go left.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I mixed it exactly up wrong.
Yeah,
Other
that would
way.
have been actually pretty spectacular.
Left.
And I think this is a good spot for our 15-minute break.
Yeah.
So we'll come back at 5 after.
Cool.
Or 10 after. 10 after. Yep. Okay. Be right back.
Haze, I am become ambassador of all meat kind. My plan B was cone of cold, so
Okay, that's dark, but
I mean, it hinged on them accepting the vibes check on a persuasion roll. So like, maybe they don't and they attack us, and then I gotta try to cone of cold them.
Ugh. Did that not send? Am I freaking stupid? I didn't press send. Silly me. Why, Cody, did you send me that?
Because it's very good.
You're a horrible person.
It's done in Sawano style, which means objectively very good. You can't help it.
Man, now I'm gonna have to listen to some like uplifting shit to get me out of this rut.
There's no rut. This is a good version of the song.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who we got? Cody, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm holding my cat's hand.
That's lovely.
Or paw, as the case may be.
Doug.
Pretty good.
That's nice. Doug, you
Yeah,
with
so
us?
just because Cody said something, I'm now holding my dog's hand, but she is not into it.
That's good. Yeah, dogs don't like it as much in my experience.
Nah, she's struggling.
That's some advanced level play there.
Ted, you are muted, but have you returned?
I am here.
All right, and I hear Violet clicking, but is she with us?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Back into it. We are. Oh, that's right. There's fucking Craig in here. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. Uh, um, all right. We come back to Haza having debriefed the party on the directions that remain ahead, and the party having concluded that they would rather go to the hold of the tyrants than to the chamber of eyes. So, being as you have directional heading, you may advance on your map.
All right. So it's this way, right?
That is correct. Uh, Longer stretch of time begins to pass to the point where you and your party are beginning to wear through your ability to stay upright. Long enough time is beginning to pass that you're beginning to feel the wears of exhaustion. You are still fine enough to continue on, but it is becoming lengthy. And Haza, eventually you do see the stretch of passage that was in your memory, the directions of left and right. You had been indicated by the little tribe of Myconid.
Okay. I guess, yeah, I will, like, point it out and say, so, does anybody need to stop and rest? Because this might be it for a bit. Or we could walk another couple hours. I don't really know.
Wait, is that not it? Right ahead of us? Or are we not entirely positive where we're going? We've been walking a while.
Yeah, this is I guess, the fork, right? Where left goes one way, right goes the other.
Mm-hmm.
Left is the way we're going to go, so this is our last chance to rest or sleep or really anything until we get potentially we march maybe another couple hours, maybe immediately, hard to say, into possible danger.
We want to be at our best. This is a pretty decent spot, I think. If these two groups know about each other, they're not going to be coming this way. And we got your new friends behind us.
I mean, I'm game for a rest while we can get one.
If we had a better concept of how many hours ahead of us, I'm good either way.
We should probably rest.
Right? Is
Uh,
that the call?
yeah, I would suggest we go up the tunnel the way we came a little ways. That way we're only looking at two directions.
Good call.
How capable are you of digging this, Torque?
This is stone. I mean, this is solid. I can dig it, and it'll have the pickaxe. It'll just take a while.
Yeah, no. It was if we could make like a nook or something that would. But this is fine.
Wherever we're resting, wherever we decide to plant ourselves for a bit, I'm gonna put down my spiritual guardian right in front of wherever I am, just like looming over me. And
Okay.
potentially other people.
All right. Any other nightly precautions taking place, seeing as you don't have much?
Ooh, I need to prepare some wish spells.
I mean, we should definitely be setting up a watch rotation. I can
Yeah.
take the first shift. Then
Sounds good.
I can go in the morning, or I can go in the middle. Who's anybody not going to be able to see?
you know, keep a light on, I guess. But beyond that, I can't see much.
We should probably go with as little
Oh,
light
what am I
as
saying? I have dark
possible.
vision. ASMR have dark vision.
Assuming the light bounces off the tunnel walls a ways, it'd probably be best to be as dark as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. Darker it is, harder it is for us to see other things too. So pick your poison. All right. Pack Rabbit, spin in a circle. I'm just gonna.
I'll keep a light on at least for my rest or for my watch at the beginning.
I'm sorry, you'll what?
Keep the light on
Okay.
during my watch.
Okay. I will need you to make me a perception check. Okay. Who is taking watch after you?
I can do it.
Okay, then you will also need to make me a perception check.
Hey.
And who's on third?
I could do it. Oh, he got it.
No, I'll take the last. I usually take morning, but Torx.
Eh. The usual.
For the most part, the three of you experience very little over the stretch of the night, or the stretch of your rest. The fires die, it gets quiet, and smaller creatures take paths along the fungal growths on the walls and ceilings, and the occasional beads of moisture find their way down, pooling in the stones around you all. Haza, in your watch, though it feels distant and obscured, you do hear the sounds of marching feet, which is distinct in its rhythm because it is, in fact, incredibly rhythmic, and it feels like it is fairly loud, coming from the passages you have not yet
Mhm.
you have not yet entered.
Hmm. Since Torek is next on watch, I'll wake up Torek first.
'Kay.
And I basically give as I wake up, I have the like shush over my mouth and then tap my ear.
I will listen.
Okay, you can make a perception check as well.
Fuck.
You hear with the sound of the marching, specifically the sound of like armored soldiers marching. Someone who had the money enough to plate a task, what would presume by the volume of them a task force, and I'll say that you can even discern the direction is coming from the leftern path, the left path, lefternmost, I guess is the word.
Leftmost.
Yeah.
Does it sound like moving at us, or is it walking?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. It is growing in volume, indicating that it is
Getting
increasing
closer.
proximity.
With a big sigh, Torek will just poke Mel to start.
What's up?
Coming at us.
Great.
I'll get Godric inks. You get inks. Hazel, you want to get Sanchi, and we'll Sans. Get Inks' sister.
I got it.
In moments, the entire camp is awoken, but the sounds are increasing in volume, so they feel like they are coming shortly around into proximity of the camp.
Yeah, get Godric. Everybody
Maybe they're
sorted.
friendly. She'll smile at
Okay.
You
Haza.
fall back.
Fall back, or I mean,
I fall back.
I mean, is there a nearby like offshoot behind us? Like falling back just, you know, prolongs how long it'll be until they get here, unless there's some other path for us to stow in.
We can hide in the area where we killed those west monsters. Maybe they won't come down there.
I mean that was hours.
Yeah, we're
though.
very far
Ours,
from there.
ours.
You guys can still make use of this map space as you'd like, but like, yeah, the stretch of time from one point to another has been long.
Well,
That's
okay.
fine.
I don't think we're gonna be in any better shape a couple hours of running from now than we are right now. So
And just
Yep.
wait here and see who comes. Perhaps they'll pass by and we'll be unaccosted.
yeah, I guess it's worth everybody just making room for them to walk by in case.
Yeah.
That's I don't think it's likely, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
I'll take my
Want to go
glaive
for
and just,
that slightly
you
bigger
know,
area ahead of us.
Yeah, can we squeeze in the right path?
which
Well, if they
direction
have
is
numbers on
backwards?
us, then we might
This
be
is
interested in
backwards.
keeping it tight.
Okay, well, formation then. Godric and me up front.
Yeah. Just-
What?
You're kind of the we hold you in reserve so that when you run in, you're
Yes, but you
feels
have
like it
better
works better when
range capabilities than I do.
Can we still just move forward into that bigger area so we're not
Yes.
quite so scrunched?
I move up, and as I do, turn left and immediately see them.
Yeah, that is correct.
I've been seeing them.
Coming through the passageway in uniform is four armored soldiers in what looks like conglomerate both bronze and steel, which is very odd. Carrying various weapons. You see hammers, spears, glaives, like fairly well armamented creatures, humanoids who are walking this path and walking in perfect deliberate march until like you come around the corner, at which point they stop.
Greetings.
One of them from behind their helmet says, "Which direction are you headed?"
Well, we were considering going the way it looks like you came from.
What business have you in the hold of the tyrants?
We seek an item in the hold of the tyrants.
You do not wish to parley with them. This is asked like a question, but it's kind of jilted and weird.
Are you you're referring to the tyrants, right?
Correct.
I I mean, we I suppose we would want to, but from the sound of their name and also what they did to the spore creatures, my guess is they would not accept our parlay even if we tried.
The head of the one that is like speaking rotates 90 degrees to look at their companion, and then snaps back and says, "You have come from the west and the Baxium Tower."
Not we are not agents of the Baxium Tower, but yes, from that direction. Are you you Are you either individually or as a group willing to parlay with us?
We may consider this offer. What might you bring to parlay?
Sorry, do you represent the tyrants, or are you separate? Are you unrelated?
Agents of Crusade, unallied yet with the tyrants of the Hold.
Okay, so if we
What
want to have a deal with the tyrant, then
what
not to sound
crusade
rude, but
exactly?
dealing with you doesn't get us anywhere.
Would you like to ally yourselves with us, and whether the tyrants accept or deny, we may see each other as friends.
We may ally, provided you march in Crusade.
Tell me about Crusade. I've not heard of it.
Ancient, resurrected, returned to power by serendipitous magic. Crusade has been restored to continue a march against the faithless and wicked of this world.
And who leads this crusade?
The four of them say in unison, Crusade.
Yeah, I think that's a name, not a thing. Although I don't really know what it would mean to march in Crusade if Crusade was like a
When you say
being.
you march against the faithless and the wicked, do they have to be faithless and wicked, or could they just be faithless or just wicked?
Usurpers, dissenters,
Okay, I
violent
liked it
and unruly many.
when you said usurpers. I was very happy with that one. When you said dissenters, I kind of less, sure.
Dissenters of what kind and to whom?
Order is the chorus of reply.
Mel shrugs. Yeah, all right.
I'm. Is
Sorry.
is crusade a construct like yourselves?
Crusade is not like us. Crusade is older, greater, a force within its own.
I'm sorry, and this crusade is a deity, ruler, founder of your order,
A creation and creator.
creation and creator. Huh. Okay.
Well, if you have business in the with the tyrants, I don't see why we can't just go together.
Wait, you're coming from the tyrants. What part of your crusade has you down here?
Those within the Baxium Tower are dissenters to order.
What's your plan? With the decision?
There is silence before the response is given. Formal information should not be delivered to any outside the crusade.
I take it that these tyrants have not joined your crusade thus far.
Others of our force remain with the tyrants to continue negotiation.
Oh, so you're a patrol.
There's no response, but that's a fair assumption given what you're looking at.
Well, I mean, okay.
I don't think that we can swear to join the crusade proper. What we seek is temporary passage, and our passage will take us potentially through the place of negotiation for your number and the tyrants. It would be preferable to not disrupt whatever that negotiation may be, or if that negotiation goes unfavorably towards your number, potentially we would side with you for this particular instance.
You may side with the crusade. You may stand in ambivalence to the crusade. There will be no tolerance for indecision.
And I'm sorry, you said this crusade was returned by some serendipitous magic? Did I misunderstand?
A force of power revealed, gifted to crusade by the divine.
Which one?
There is no response.
Mel looks at Torek with a very concerned look.
Orc is looking a little in thought, a little unsure.
If we don't ally ourselves with you now, does that make us dissenters?
No, I mean, they gave us the option to be ambivalent.
No, I'm just making sure. I want to hear from their mouth.
Those who make no decision now may find themselves under force to make decision in their futures.
Can I ask what began your crusade? What was there some sort of inciting event, or was it just crusade themselves being
Creation.
returned?
Our creation by our Maker's hand. Crusade's own. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the right word. Design.
I don't remember if Godric knows about this or not, but is this the Warforged?
Different
Didn't we
name.
get told about a Warforged army up north
did.
or something?
Yes. Yeah,
It's
that's what I
different name.
inferred that this was.
It might
Uh,
be, but the name I have for that is different.
The name
The
you
name I
have
have
for
for that
that.
is Conquest.
Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same, but I have fucked up my notes apparently anciently. So I'll give that to you because it ought to be what I have just said, and apparently ages ago I gave you the wrong name.
Got it.
I'm going to go check my notes and make sure I have it correct in multiple places.
Find and replace.
Oh my god, it's literally Crusade in my primary notes. Wherever I gave it to you last, I fucked it up. Yep. Well, there you go.
Good to know. If we promise not to disrupt your current operations and simply to pass through, is there an arrangement or an accord that can be made with your number or your master?
This is not dissension. The two lines part with strict unity, and make a path.
Before we proceed, what all falls underneath your definition of dissension?
Disruption of the order, opposition to the crusade, violence, misplaced. This is all said in unison.
What I mean, I know the crusade is against dissenters and those fighting against order, but what is the goal? What is the order you're after?
Immaculate creation.
Okay, that doesn't really answer my question.
There's no further explanation.
How did you come to be here?
Direction offered by crusade.
And I'm sorry, how many did you say are back with the tyrant? Are in the dealing with the hold of the tyrant?
Information may not be given to those unallied with the crusade.
So, to be clear, as long as we proceed and we do not cause any undue disorder to what it is you are doing, we are free to pass.
Acceptable terms of parley.
I glance at the group.
Yeah, Mel shrugs.
Probably about as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Swearing to any crusade, but I will not break any of the tenets.
As a last question for you, does can Crusade see what you are seeing right now?
Information is not to be given to those unallied with the crusade.
Right. Very well. At
Let's
acceptable terms.
finish up our rest and then we'll get on out of here.
We are going to proceed up the tunnel the way we came. We are going to finish our rest, and then we will proceed past your number and into your camp, I guess. Is that acceptable?
Acceptable terms of parley.
Cool.
We're back to sleep.
The four wordlessly, perfectly slip back into formation and walk through your campsite and out the way, past the way you have come.
As we're settling back in, I'll glance over at Mel and say, "Were they alive?"
I mean, no. I mean, we've been told by the Hand of Light that these are some sort of constructs. It's the same organization that's been marauding towns up north, east.
Right, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean they're
Wherever.
not alive.
I mean, your definition of alive needs to be explained because, like us, hmm,
I guess capable of independent thought. I guess you'd probably say they wouldn't have a soul.
no, that's more complicated. I mean, you've seen my construct. It only follows directions. I have control over it. It's basically mindless when it's not under my control. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That has a soul in it. Ish.
And then what about something like, what was his name, Toledo? Was
Yes.
that
I
just
mean,
following instruction from?
it could have been following an instruction, although it didn't behave like it was. It might have had an instruction, but it might have interpreted it a certain way, or it might just have independent thought. Whether or not it does, or it was just following a directive, doesn't really answer the question of a soul. Or any sort of magical consciousness that it could be given. Life is a very funny and fickle thing to define. Most things can be argued as alive, and all things are capable of dying.
Fair enough. I guess I've got a little bit more on my watch, so everybody else go back to sleep. I'll wake you up in a bit, Torque.
Torque is already out.
All right. You all can return to long rest. You will need some extra hours to recover from that encounter. So whoever's on watch next, make a perception check.
That's me.
Okay. And we'll have one more person need to take watch so that you can recover from that incident. So who would like to be next?
I can take watch next.
Okay.
If no one
Roll
else
me those
is.
bones.
Big money, no whammies. Yeah.
There's nothing you hear for the remainder of the evening that causes as much concern. You can pack up your belongings, finish your long rest, and continue on your path to the hold of the tyrants.
Cool.
All right. Let's On your in your next day, there are smaller creatures and animals, smaller monsters of unconcerning value to you that occasionally breach your line of vision and make feeble attempts at either stealing from you or picking at your legs. But these encounters are short-lived and unimpressive. Um, and require very little effort on anyone's part to handle appropriately. But the time stretches on as you continue in this unknown direction in the Underdark before the tunnels around you break away into an open chasm. The path that you walk remains a very small, only about maybe 5 to 10 feet wide pathway trail that clings to the wall of a steep fissure and ceilings that reach high above you. Uh, the only curious features of this path is that it leads to what clearly becomes the carved and then constructed uh, facades of buildings, one prominently jutting from the path that you walk out over the chasm, and then a small bridge that stretches between uh, that feature and a much larger, more impressive structure built across the cavern itself, with no, it appears, immediate uh, external entry points. You also see from where you are clinging to the cliff face a second bridge that also uh, touches from this second structure out back across the chasm somehow, but to what you cannot see. Um, there are lanterns that are lit and hung with ordinary flames at entry points, both at the bridges and at what you can see to be the nearest door to you. On the far side of the cavern, where this larger structure is poised, there are parapets as well. It's sort of a complex. It looks, rather complex from the outside. Multiple buildings forged together in exterior pathways, and likely interior as well. Let me put you on a new map and make sure my lighting is working. Excellent. I'll drag you back a little bit, but not like actually have you guys off the cliffs, just so you can like kind of, with what limited dark vision you may have like some idea of the shapes of the shit you're looking at.
So for the moment, we still got one path forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do we hear any of the constructs? Like the rhythmic, like echoing?
Why don't you make me a perception check?
Wish I was good at this.
Fated to do poorly, unfortunately.
Yeah, I never do shit. Holy
Sheesh.
shit.
Okay. Mel does hear something rhythmic. It is not the sounds of the footsteps, but it is the certain, though significantly muffled, sounds of a hammer on steel. It sounds like something being forged.
Yeah, I'll
And it
relay
is.
that to the party.
All right.
Do I get a
Sorry,
sort
once
of
again,
direction?
Yes. In this building, like in the immediate building.
Well, somebody's working something in there.
You figure they're making more of themselves?
We can go and find out. If anything, just to ask directions.
Nowhere else to go, through the door.
All right. I think since I'm starting to ache, and because Adam is not with us, we will
Call
call
it there.
session here,
Sick.
and we'll pick up next time. Locking that door. Stop looking.
Like, I was flickering it. I was flickering it, and I realized as I was doing it, I wasn't taking in any information. I was just watching the lights flicker on and off.
There's a dwarven blacksmith in the next room, and he's looking up, and someone's just
What
like
the fuck?
opening and closing the door
Opening,
super
closing the
quickly.
door?
Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Like, on my, 10th click, I was like, I don't think I know what's in there. I don't think I've ever actually looked.
Are you gonna